Good evening, and thank you for being with us for News Center Maine at 5. I'm Brian Yacono. We will hear from Amanda Hill in just a moment. She's in Holton today for the main event of the day, the Great Solar Eclipse. We have crews spread out across Maine this evening. Holton, Jackman, Millinocket, Rangeley, all in the path of totality that covered Maine at about 3:30 this afternoon. We are also in southern Maine as many people plan to travel home now. We'll hear from every one of them coming up this evening. I believe we are starting in Holton. Is that correct? Yes, we are. Look at that. Keith Carson is joining us live from Holton. We're kind of the epicenter of this situation today. Hi, Keith.
Hi, Brian. Yeah, it was the epicenter. I will tell you this, it is quickly cleared out after the eclipse rolled through. I want to talk a little bit about weather first, then I'm going to bring Amanda and David in to talk a little bit more about the eclipse. The weather part of this, right, just straightforward, beautiful, low anxiety for it today. There were just a few high, thin clouds. Even if we had those drift over us, it would have been okay. But the rest of the state pretty much clear all day. Satellite picture was clean. Temperatures popped into the low 60s today. Todd had an interesting stat today at noon that it's the first time since December many of these communities have been in the 60s. So it wasn't just the sky cover, it was the fact that we were abnormally warm. We're still sitting at 65 in Augusta, 64 in Lewiston, 61 in Holton, where we dropped probably about 8 degrees or so, it felt like, during that moment of totality there. So going forward here, we've got another nice day tomorrow, not a whole lot going on. Even the first half of Wednesday looks fine. As we get into Wednesday night and into Thursday, we'll start to bring some rain in. So we'll have a pretty significant rainstorm on that end. And of course, we had our storm on Wednesday and Thursday of last week, but in between, beautiful weather. Okay, let's bring in Amanda and David and we'll talk a little bit about what we got going on here in Holton.
I feel like we're your bandmates with this setup here. This is like...
What kind of album would you say it is?
Oh my gosh. I don't know.
Like a bad
Yacht
ska
rock.
band.
Yes, or ska band. I could see either one. Like you said, the crowd really dispersed quickly here. I think at this point it's mostly locals and just TV crews that are here and people packing up their telescopes.
I can't get over how perfect this seems. For the weather, for one. You mentioned the temperatures and the clearance we had, unlike other regions of the country. And the crowds were here, but manageable.
Right.
The whole time. And
Right.
everyone had kind of their own space with their family. They could meet people if they wanted. The businesses, plenty of money spent there, but everyone could kind of space out and do their thing. It was magical.
Yeah, I thought you meant perfect with your co-anchors.
Yeah, I was getting that
Oh,
vibe too.
yeah.
I was getting that vibe originally as well, yeah.
Yeah. What'd you think?
I mean, that was amazing. I agree with David. No one knew what to expect. I mean, we had this whole conversation, even planning-wise, to get from southern Maine into Holton, what it was going to look like today and what was going to happen. And I think, as far as we know, it hasn't been this huge traffic jam where it ruins the experience for people, but there were enough people to give it a vibe. And I think that's really what you want. You either wanted to see this, a lot of people wanted to see this in nature or with a bunch of people.
Right.
Right, and I think this was the Super Bowl watch party style.
Yeah.
I know, and you mentioned wanting to see it in nature. Maybe not quite to that extent from my experience, but we interviewed a couple of people earlier in the week who were locals here, loved having the business here for the folks who didn't have a good snowmobile season, didn't get to capitalize off of that as much. And so, but for the moment itself, they wanted to be in the backyard, just with their kids, to share the moment. And it was touching.
Heard that a lot today, for sure.